Hey guys, my name is Scoby and welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to get the Steamdeck UI on Windows. It is also possible on Linux. I'll leave some information in the description down below for users who want to use that. You can see an example of this on screen right now. I'm a huge fan of this, and in today's video, I'm going to be showing you step by step how to do this. Let's jump right into this. So first of all, I want to say I did not actually create this method. I actually found it when scrolling through Reddit. I was interested in installing SteamOS on my desktop, but instead came across to this, and I've been playing around with it for the last couple of days, and I wanted to share it in today's video. So the very first thing we need to do is open up our file explorer, and we need to find out where our Steam is installed, or specifically we're looking for Steam/package. So by default it will be in your C drive, program files, x86, Steam and package. So the first place I'd recommend is going to there. Otherwise, if you installed your Steam on another location in your computer, you'll have to go to that folder. So as mentioned, program files x86, we're then going to be looking for Steam, we're then going to be looking for package, and this is exactly where we want to be inside the Steam package folder. From this point, now that we are here, I would recommend closing down your Steam at this point fully, not just the window, but come down to the bottom right of your desktop, click on the arrow here and make sure Steam is not open. If it is, you can simply right click and click exit. Otherwise, we're going to be coming back to our file explorer. Our next goal is to create a new file here called beta. So I already have it created previously. So what I'm going to be doing in today's video is actually deleting my beta code that I created previously so we can start from scratch. Then I would recommend making sure your file extensions are visible on your Windows. To do this, we can come to View, we can come to Show, and we need to make sure Show File Extensions are enabled. So in this case, I am using Windows 11, but I believe the process is very, very similar on Windows 10, so it shouldn't be too different to be able to find this. Here, we're simply going to right click here, we're going to come to New, and we're going to be creating a new text document file right inside this folder. We can create this, and here we can name this beta. And we're going to be opening this up, and this should open up a notepad by default, and that's exactly what we want. From this point, we're going to be coming back to the Reddit post that I created previously, and we're going to be copying this SteamPal stable text right here. So we're going to be copying this entire string. We're going to highlight it. We're going to right click copy. We're then going to be coming back to our beta.txt file, and we're going to right click and we're going to paste this inside. From this point, we simply need to click Control and S or File and Save. And now we've created the file that we need. So we can close this down. We can come back to our folder, and now we should have a beta.txt file. Now this is most of what we need. However, this file is still in a .txt format, which is not what we need. We're going to be right clicking, we're going to be coming to show more options, and we're going to be renaming this file, and we're going to be removing the last txt and full stop here at the end. So we're going to be removing all of this, and we just want a file named beta with no extension at the end. We can then click enter. It will then say, are you sure you want to change the file extension? We click yes. And now our file is no longer a .txt file, but instead just a normal beta file that we need for Steam. After this point, we can then come back to our Reddit page. And the next thing we need to find out is we need to have a desktop shortcut with a new property attached so we can actually load up the Steamdeck UI. So here's where you need to make sure you actually have a desktop shortcut for Steam. In this case, I actually have two, but you are going to need to have at least one on your desktop right now. If you don't already have this, we can simply come back to our package folder on Steam, come to Steam. We're then going to be scrolling down until we see steam.exe, which is this file, and we can see it now with the file extension that we have created. What we're going to be doing is right clicking this, we're going to click show more options, and we're going to create a shortcut. And just like that, you've created a shortcut, you can bring this onto your desktop or anywhere else you want, but we will need at least one shortcut for this to work. So from this point, I have two shortcuts on my desktop. One is for Steam. I would recommend creating a duplicate or backup and naming it Steamdeck UI, just in case you want to go back to the normal Steam UI without using the Steamdeck UI. Once this one is created, we're simply going to right click, come to properties, and now we're going to be adjusting the target text right here. And we're then going to be adjusting this to add the -gamepad UI, which is also mentioned here inside the -gamepad UI inside of our properties folder. So we simply need to do this inside of the shortcut for Steam. So what we're going to do is simply add this here. There should be one space after it. Nothing else needs to be affected. So it's after the steam.exe, and in the parentheses, we need to add one space, and then we need to copy the rest of the text here. This is important that it's done exactly like this. Otherwise, you might have issues. After this, we can simply click apply, click OK, and then we can launch the Steamdeck UI application. So if this is your first time opening this up, you might have to download a new Steam package. It may take a couple minutes to do that. And then you'll be brought to this screen where you'll be brought to the Steamdeck UI instead of the Steam UI. So here you can then sign into whatever user account you want. And just like that, the Steamdeck UI will be opened. So here it is very controller friendly, but it also works really well with a keyboard and mouse. Everything is all click friendly, and you can still crawl around here and everything just like that. And now one extra thing to keep in mind at the moment, because this is just a Steamdeck UI, it does actually have the Great on Deck section inside of our games folder. So that is one potentially annoying thing depending on how you look at it, but you don't really need to keep in mind whatever it says is good on deck. You can just play and install whatever games you want as you would normally with Steam. Now by default this is in windowed mode, and bringing it into full screen will not actually bring it to a full window screen. What we need to do is make sure we have the window highlighted, click Alt and Enter on your keyboard, and it will actually bring you into a full screen experience, which is really nice. If you're using this on a big screen or a TV, it works really well. To get out of this full screen mode, again click Alt and Enter, and it will bring you outside of this, and you'll be brought back out to the normal window view. So it works really nicely. Now from this point, if you would ever like to go back to the normal Steam UI, we can simply close this down, and that's why I recommend creating a second shortcut, so we can simply open up the shortcut on Steam that does not have that extension attached to it. Now it might take a couple seconds to switch back and forth, so that's just something to keep in mind. But with this method, you can easily switch back and forth. I would recommend fully closing down Steam between the switching between both, just to avoid any issues. And just like that, you can open up and play with the Steamdeck UI and easily switch back and forth whenever you want. Now, if you are running Linux, it is also possible here with the mention at the bottom. I don't actually have a Linux install or Linux distro I'm using at the moment, so I'm not actually going to be doing that process, but it is also detailed here on the Reddit post. So if you do want to check it out, it can be really cool. Again, shout out to the user over here on Reddit for creating this. It's not something I found myself. I just found this when I was scrolling around. I thought it was really cool and I wanted to share it with you guys. And it's as easy as that to use the Steamdeck UI on Steam and Windows in 2022. Anyway guys, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to drop a like. Subscribe if you're new, check out the other videos on the channel. I want to take this moment to give a huge shout out to the channel member Sean Daly. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. Until next time guys, as always, keep it saucy. Peace.